talk about violence. Violence to you might be putting somebody in a figure four. Violence to me is taking a can of gas and pouring it on you and setting you on fire. Like me or not, I didn't come up here to be liked. I came up here to get paid. And whoever you put in front of me, I'm gonna drop you down.
Doomed to be a killer since I came out the nutsack. I'm in a murderous mind state with a heart full of terror. I see the devil in the mirror. Fuck, lights out. Cause when I grab my sword off, niggas get hauled off. Barrel 1, touch your motherfucking flesh. Barrel 2, touch your fucking heart at your chest. You see, I'm quick to let the hammer go click. On my tech 9, so if you try to wreck mine, foolish your bedtime. Feel the blast from the chocolate bomber. Infrared aimed at your head like your name was Sarah Connor. Decapitation, I ain't hesitating to put you in a funeral home with a bullet in your dome.
Hello, all you beautiful maniacs out there. My name is Joshua James, and with me is my longtime good buddy from oWo UK, Richard. Welcome back, brother.
Hello. It's been at least 2 days.
I know, right?
Yeah, I'm enjoying this.
Me too. Yeah, we are back reviewing another Dark Side of the Ring documentary. The first one we did was about the Chris Benoit double murder suicide. That was depressing enough, so let's go on with a new documentary. It's about the life and crime of New Jack. And before we start with the whole documentary, I just want to say that I am a huge fan of New Jack. What about you? Are you a fan of his?
I watched a lot of his stuff in ECW, and I always thought the guy was nuts. I was just like this guy, like the balcony things. It was like, yeah, this guy's crazy. You can't not like him.
I know.
And then, I watched a few XPW pay-per-views that he appeared in, and as soon as he come out, I was like, holy shit, this is going to get really good now. Somebody's going to bleed.
Someone will get hurt. Yeah. So yeah, I was excited when I found out the Dark Side of the Ring was going to do a documentary about New Jack. And my thought was like they were just going to talk about the mass transit incident, which I thought that was going to be the only thing they were going to talk about. But no, they were going to talk about other things that New Jack did. So I was glad they talked about more than one thing. Yeah. So my question is for you is like, what did you think of the documentary?
I thoroughly enjoyed it. The mass transit was the one thing I was really looking forward to hearing about, getting perspective from people who were actually there, not just like what I've seen on YouTube and read on internet about, people who were in sixth row and, staff who were other end of locker room and, stuff like that. It were like people who were actually there when it happened. So it were really good to sort of get from them exactly what had happened. But yeah, I mean, that was the main thing I was looking forward to finding out about. Everything else was just a bonus.
Yeah, right. Like I knew about the other thing. We're not going to spoil it yet, but things he did, I knew about. But like in the background, like the backstory about it, did not know. So everything on here was a big bonus for me too. Like because like I knew about the incidents, but I didn't know about the backstory. So that's one thing I did love about this documentary.
Yeah,
like did not know about New Jack's childhood. Did not know how he was pretty much raised. I mean, god dang, dude. Like, what was your thoughts when you heard about his childhood?
A 5-year-old and you watch your dad stab your mum in front of everybody and just not give a shit about it. It's like he said, you wonder why I'm tapped. It's like that and maybe the few substances that you've taken over the years, but for the most part, it was like, holy shit. And then when she tried to leave, he shot her in the leg. It's like, how the hell do you get your head around that?
Yeah, seriously. Like,
you just like, I won't even try.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, like, just knowing how he was raised and all that kind of stuff. I mean, like, makes me think, like, how is he still alive? Like, especially all the things he did.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, what he saw as a kid is enough to put you in therapy.
Yeah, seriously, like, just hearing that, like, oh, geez. I felt so sorry for him. Like, part of me was, like, thinking, like, I want to give him a hug, but I'm afraid that he might try to hurt me.
Yeah.
But I love New Jack. Like just knowing that he overcame that, but still, he's probably haunted by it still to this day, and I completely
Yeah.
get why.
There's no way something like that just leaves you.
Yeah, seriously. But knowing him with wrestling, now you kind of get where his character's coming from. Like you get to see like why he's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But what was your thoughts that they mentioned about him in Smoky Mountain Wrestling?
I'll be honest, I had no idea that he was even in there. Like I said, I'd only ever seen him from ECW, so I just thought he was one of them that were just ECW from when they started, right up until, well, whether he was one of them that decided, fuck you, Eamon, you're not paying us, so we're off sort of thing.
Yeah.
Or whether he stayed till the end. But I just thought he was just an ECW original. I didn't even know he'd been in like a proper wrestling organization.
Yeah, you did. Like I did know that's where he got his start. I thought he was like in ECW at first. Then he went to Smoky Mountain for a little bit, then went back to ECW and all that kind of stuff. But no, that's where he got his start, which shocked me.
Yeah, I was even more surprised that D'Lo Brown worked with him.
I know, that's one thing that's like, when I saw the trailer, it's like, D'Lo Brown, why is he there?
Yeah, I must admit, I was like, why? There must be some reason for this. Surely it's not just to pull him in because he's African American or whatever. There must be a reason for this. And then when he said that he was with him in Smoky Mountain, it was like, holy shit.
Yeah, seriously. When I saw it, I was like, D'Lo Brown was with them? I was like, what?
D'Lo Brown was a gangster.
So he was a gangster. He was with the Nation of Domination, and he was part of the Aces and Eights. What else is about D'Lo Brown? Has he been part of anything else that we didn't know about?
Well, I would imagine somewhere at a point in his career, yeah, he will have been. But yeah, they're pretty much probably his career highlights, aren't they? Faction wise.
Yeah, like it was like.
Well, I don't know about highlights, but they're definitely probably the most notable things that he's done faction wise, Aces and Eights.
The Gangstas, I have to say, was a lot better than the Aces and Eights, and that's hard. I love the Aces and Eights, to be honest, but if I had to pick,
I dipped in and out when that storyline were on, and then some of them that they revealed, like Garrett Bischoff. That's when I knew that Angle had just died on its ass. It was like, yeah, it's over and done with now. It's like when they started NWO and Jeff Jarrett were in charge of it. And it's like, yeah, you've just no.
And Bully Ray as the leader of Aces and Eights.
That kind of made sense. I liked how they worked all that out. That he swerved Hogan by fighting against him and stuff. And then when he got his title shot, they helped him. And then it turned out that he was the leader. It was like, yeah, that was pretty good how they built that up. But it was like certain, like I said, when certain wrestlers came out as members, it was like, oh crap, it's gonna have one big payoff and it's done. And then Bully Ray with the payoff, and then from then it was just. Anderson joining and destroying him from inside were the scenery at Nexus, really, wasn't it?
Yeah. But, I mean, like, the one thing about this documentary that I did like is that they mentioned about the O.J. Simpson promo, which, by the way, I'm not going to lie, it's one of my favorite dark humor promos in wrestling.
It was like they said, it's like D'Lo said that New Jack said everything that the average guy thought at the time but daren't say. So it was just like, he can get away with it. But yeah, I must admit, when I saw that promo, I was like, dude, shit, wow. That got aired.
I know, right?
That made it to TV.
Especially Jim Cornette's reaction when they mentioned that. I was like, yeah, that's my reaction too.
Yeah. But having said that, this is the same guy who, you think, oh, maybe Cornette had cut it, but this is the same guy who made the Ethiopian and fried chicken comment.
I mean, like, the one thing I like about New Jack is that he didn't care. I mean, that's one thing I like about him is like he didn't care. And he got away with it too. Like it's just like I was like, okay, that's great. I love New Jack. Like even like, but do you think some of the things he said were kind of too out of line to say for television?
Yeah, I mean he definitely sort of pushed the envelope, as it were. But it's like they said, he was just saying what his character would have said. you know, that they were a group of angry African Americans, and that's what they would have said. You know, the whole the O.J. Simpson thing, then there were the Rodney King beating. So it's like he said, they played on all that sort of stuff, and you know, he just took everything that were going on and around him and just filtered it out and just let it go, and you know, said what were on his mind. And at the end of the day, there aren't many people around. I mean, you wouldn't get away with that nowadays, but
Oh, like seriously, you can't say stuff like that now.
no, there's no way. You know, you'd be able to say anything like that. But I mean, for the time, I would imagine the network will have had a lot of complaints, and Smoky Mountain will have had a lot of phone calls complaining about it.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I mean, at the end of the day, it was his character, and he did what he did, and he said what he had to say. I mean, other people have done stuff like that. I mean, I was watching an interview with Shane Douglas, and they mentioned the whole when he won the NWA World Title, and he just threw it on the floor, and you know, like they can all kiss my ass and stuff, and it was like, yeah, that was his character. You know, he lived and breathed it from the minute he walked in that door. He stopped being, you know, is it Troy Martin? That's his real name, and he was Shane Douglas all the way through the night until he left.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and even then going through car park, he was still Shane Douglas until he were on his own, and then it was like, right, now I can stop.
Yeah.
But yeah, New Jack just lived it, and he just said what him and millions of other Americans were thinking, I would imagine.
Yeah, and also, like, I did not know that they did their own version of the Rodney King incident in Smoky Mountain. Did not know they recreated that in there. I did not know.
When it showed the clip of it, all they did was beat up, can't remember which one, Rock and Roll Express it was.
Ricky Morton, I think it was?
Yeah, the blonde one.
Yeah.
All they did was just beat him up, and it was just like an average beating. Had they had done, you know, like pretended to be police in a fake police car, pull him over, and then beat the shit out of him, that definitely would have been a recreation. But all that was just, I mean, Flair and Horseman did worse than that to Dusty Rhodes when the, you know, other wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
When they broke Magnum TA's arm, what Magnum TA, when they slammed car door on it and they broke his arm and stuff.
Yeah.
They did a lot worse with Dusty Rhodes. That, to me, that wasn't so much a recreation. It was just, you know, a group of guys beating up one guy after it was only been launched out, weren't they?
Yeah, I get that. And then they mentioned of New Jack going to ECW because it's showed on the documentary that New Jack and Jim Cornette had a bad falling out in the end, which that sucks. I mean, like, but I guess that happens a lot in wrestling.
Yeah, I suppose, you know, if you have talent that are, you know, top, and then they say, look, you know, we've had an offer from somewhere else and we're going to go, you are going to be like, oh, fuck's sake, here we go, you know. And there is going to be a little bit. But, I mean, you've only got to look at, like, Paul Heyman when WWF and WCW were signing ECW stars left, right and centre. Not because they really wanted them. It was just so because they could take them. Yeah, you know, he fell out with a lot of wrestlers. I mean, a lot of them left because they weren't being paid, which is a legit reason to leave.
Yeah.
But, you know, a lot of them, it's like on the, I don't know if you've ever seen the ECW unauthorized thing, Barbed Wire City, and there's an interview with Paul Heyman, and somebody must mention that to him in a Q&A. He says, look, if they want to go and make money elsewhere, that's fine. You know, go. I'm not going to hold you back. You know, you want to go, you go. You know, there's no point me keeping you in and making you work for me. You want to go elsewhere, go elsewhere. And I think it's like Jim Cornette said, that they wanted to go there, and there were nothing else they could do in Smoky Mountain. So it made sense to let them go there where they could push the envelope a bit more and, you know, get that little bit more risky and stuff like that.
And also the one thing about the documentaries, they mentioned in Smoky Mountain that, like, there was a lot of racism there for them. And
yeah. I mean, yeah. You'd expect it because it was like, what, late 80s, early 90s, wasn't it? Because it was 95 when they went to ECW. So if you said they had a good 2, 3, 4 years in Smoky Mountain, so that's still early 90s. So yeah, there will have been a lot. And it's like you were saying, you know, everywhere he went, people were just calling him N-word, and it was like, you know, it really annoyed him. But it was like, at the same time, it's like, I've really, really got to him. I've really pissed him off, and, you know, I've done my job, sort of thing. Yeah. It goes back to what we were saying last video about people who make you hate him, art and stuff like that. You know, he knew that, New Jack knew that we were doing it right by everybody.
Like the with Nancy.
Yeah. Yeah, women coming up to her and, say, perfect. She was doing her job right. She was doing it well. So that's what New Jack and them were doing. They've got people throwing racism. I mean, we're like, yeah, so we've obviously pissed you off then.
I mean, like, racism in wrestling is never good. But like you said, it was the early 80s, 90s, and that was a lot. But now, to this day, like, if that happened, I mean, like it would be outrage. Like, New Jack would probably go in the crowd and just beat the crap out of the guy. Or maybe he was like, you know what? Yeah, hate me.
Yeah.
Like New Jack looked like one of those type of guys, like saying, yeah, it annoyed him. But if they're shouting that out at me, hey, they're hating on me. I'm doing my job.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, that they've paid to come and see me on the off chance to get my ass kicked, so I'm getting a share from that ticket.
Yeah. And also, I like the fact they mentioned, like, after the show, they would get, like, the fans waiting for them, like, throwing stuff at them.
Yeah, and that one time they had to get a police escort.
Yeah.
To get them out through car park into the car and then escort them out at parking lot and see them on the way and stuff. And it's like, yeah, that's when you've really pissed a lot of people off.
I mean, like, let me ask you this question. Like, if you were a wrestler and you were getting that much heat, like, how would you react to that?
Well, I think it's like we've said, if that's your character, you're a heel and you're supposed to piss people off and you've got them to that point, then you can sit back and go, job done.
Yeah, definitely.
I've done everything I'm supposed to have done. See, then you just sit back and you're just like, yeah, job done. You hate me. That's what I wanted.
Wouldn't you be, like, a little scared? Like, I think I would be. I'm not fully, I wouldn't lie about that. I kind of would be a little bit.
I mean, yeah, you've always got to look at it like with the race angle. When New Jack, when they were getting a lot of racist stuff, I mean, that I would imagine if you were somewhere like middle of nowhere in America, and it's like one of them proper, like Jim Cornette called them rednecks and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
One of them places, you are going to be thinking, somebody get the car ready. Because after that match, we are through the door, whether it's open or not. We are going through that door, even if I have to leave a New Jack-shaped imprint in that door, I'm out that door. But yeah, I would imagine the racist thing would be the biggest thing. I mean, nowadays, I suppose physical attacks aren't so common because they've got to get past security, they've got to get into the ring, and chances are, if they get past one lot of security, by the time they're going for the ring, somebody else is going to get them. And you've got a chance to see him coming in, not like in 70s and that when the seats were right up to ringside.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I suppose now the worst thing is your social media, innit? Getting bullied on Twitter and getting called out on there and getting abuse on there and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
In which case, that's easily done. Block.
Yeah.
It's that easy, but yeah, I mean, back in the day, I would imagine it was really daunting, and I wouldn't want to be.
Yeah, seriously.
That side of it.
I mean, I always like when I'm just watching the documentary, I was like, New Jack had balls. That's one thing I like.
Yeah, to go out. I mean, like the O.J. Simpson promo. The phrase "bollocks like grapefruits or watermelons" has never been more appropriate. You got to have serious balls to go on TV and say that, and know that the majority of people that are in that arena that night, that studio for that taping, and people at home who might be going to the next show where you're going to be performing, are going to be white people, are going to be pissed off at what's happened. And then, he goes and says that, and he's going to be like, all right, yeah, and that's going to rile people up. But at the end of the day, it's like, it's job. It's...
I wonder what New Jack's favorite promo is. I want to ask him that. Like, which out of all the promos he's did, I want to know which one's his favorite that he did.
Yeah, which one's his personal favorite? I would imagine, that OJ when he's up there.
Yeah, that I know that's definitely
if that's not his favorite. It's got to be up there.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, like, then now they mentioned we get to him in his ECW, which was like a playground for New Jack and Mustafa.
That would just that would crazy. That would like letting a diabetic loose in a sweet shop. It was always going to end up bad.
Yeah,
like he said, he had to do stuff. I mean, it's like when he did the first balcony jump. I don't know, because I watched the barbed wire documentary last night about ECW, funnily enough. And I can't remember if it was on that one or whether it were on the one I watched today, because everything's kind of all blurred into one with this isolation thing.
Yeah.
That he were being punished for something, and he were basically being told, right, you're just going to do job every night, you're going to lose every night. And he thought, do you know what, bollocks to this, I'm going to go out and I'm going to do something where people are going to remember that and not even remember who won the match or who lost it. So the first thing he did was jump up to that balcony, and then when he saw how, Eamon saw how big the crowd went for it, he was like, oh, you think you could do that again? And New Jack like, think you could pay me some more? Straight away, we're like, yeah, bang, right, do your thing. So it must have been on that barbed wire documentary.
I don't remember. I don't know if that was on the New Jack documentary before this one, or it was on another ECW documentary. I don't remember.
I was saying I watched that unauthorized biography last night, the
okay. Yeah.
ECW barbed wire, and then today I watched the Rise and Fall of ECW. So it could have been on any one of them two. Because like I said, I watched one last night, and then that one today, and then I watched New Jack. So it's all just kind of one hardcore blur, which is not a bad blur to be in, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I heard that, I thought, I'll have to remember that for when we do this video about, when the reason he did the first balcony dive. And then obviously it just became a regular thing then, and people just expected it of him.
Yeah, now, knowing the backstory, thanks for letting me know about that, because I did not know. So
yeah. I like to help. I like to help where I can, but yeah, I say it was just by chance. I remember it, and it just stuck, and I thought I'll remember that.
And then we get to the biggest incident that happened with ECW, the mass transit incident.
Yeah, well, I'd say that the two major incidents that got mentioned on it were probably on a par. I mean, yeah, no, the mass transit one probably just slightly edgy, actually.
I know. I'm talking about the first one he did.
Yes, yeah, the infamous mass transit one, which, like I said, was something I'd heard about on YouTube videos. I'd read about on the internet, and I'd missed it because obviously it was a house show. It weren't a pay-per-view taping, so I'd never seen it. And when they showed the video of it, I was like, "Holy shit!" Mm-hmm. That kid got seriously messed up.
Did you watch the whole entire match?
I watched what they showed on the documentary. That's all I've seen of it, and that were enough, to be honest. That they showed you what they needed to without showing too much.
The whole entire match is on YouTube, and that's how I got to watch the whole entire thing.
I'm going to look for that later on then. But yeah, I knew the backstory to it, that this kid had come in and lied about his age and how qualified he was.
Yeah.
Like you can fill in for Axel Rotten. And then when he went up to New Jack and said, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to put you through a table, New Jack was like, fuck off. And he was like, right, you're seriously going to get it now. And
he had a few matches.
Yeah, like Jim Cornette said, he probably had 2 or 3 matches on a little show near him. And it's like, he made his thing wrestling them 2 little midget dudes, didn't it? That was how he got his that was only ring experience he'd ever had.
Yeah.
I mean, that's equivalent to me, you, and Bones getting in a ring. And then you going up against New Jack and going, oh, yeah, by the way, I'm going to put you through a table. I'm going to backdrop you out at ring. And I want to bleed, but I can't do it. So can you do it for me?
First of all, I would never do that with New Jack. I'll be too scared to go near him.
Yeah, you'd be like, right, so this social isolation is brilliant. Can we continue this in the ring? Ergo, I don't get killed.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean...
Well, I think I would do this as if I'd be like introducing myself and telling them I'm looking forward to wrestling tonight.
Yeah.
Then after that, just move on.
I'm looking forward to getting my ass handed to me for about 10-15 minutes and basically being your bitch, Mr. New Jack, sir. Thank you very much. And then just walk away like that. But yeah, I mean, to go in and just like New Jack said, to go up to a veteran and say, I want to do this, I want to do that. And it's like, no, you don't do that. That's like the first rule of wrestling. You don't, as somebody who's never done it before,
I
you know,
love Sandman's reaction when they told him.
oh yeah, when he started bang, he's absolutely pissing himself laughing. He's like, oh, so that's what pissed him off. And he's like, dude, you must have known. You were on the card. You were the next match. You must have been around somewhere. But
Maybe he was drunk and that's why he doesn't remember.
well, did you notice on the thing when he introduced himself at the bar? He's got a pint and then he's got like a shot next to it.
Yeah.
A pint and a shot, and I'm like, yeah, that's. And then later on, he's drinking water. And I'm like, is that water or is that vodka?
I know, right?
You know, we'll never know. But yeah, I mean, some people said that the kid got what he deserved, and you know, I mean, I think maybe New Jack did go a bit too far, but he wanted to prove a point. But it's just a shame that it went to what it did.
Like it's like what New Jack said to Paul Heyman. It's like, what I'm about to do, people are gonna remember this 10 years later.
Yeah.
And it's 20 years later and we're still talking about it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he knew he was going to make an example of him. But that kid put himself in that situation. He was the one that lied about everything. And then, you know, to go and do that. Like I said, I mean, there are probably 1,000,001 other things New Jack could have done rather than, you know, all about slice top of his head open. But that was New Jack and he wanted to prove a point. I mean, I feel sorry that the kid died.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, nothing from the incident. Obviously, it were.
Yeah, he didn't die from that. New Jack didn't kill him.
No, he didn't kill him. Just like he
Watch
said.
the video. If you watch the video, you're gonna think, yeah, New Jack killed him.
Yeah. No, New Jack didn't kill. Although he did say in the thing that I didn't want to kill him, but I was going to get him as close to death as I could. But I mean, like 50 stitches that's enough. You know, 5 stitches would be enough for me. But 50, and then like he was saying to the reporter, he couldn't feel like an area around his head, and he got headaches and stuff. And it's like, you know, but you know, that's your own fault for going in and thinking you're something you're not. But I mean, like I said, it's a shame that his life went to shit after that.
Yeah, like after that incident, then they sued New Jack for it, which, like.
Yeah, they tried taking him to court for assault and battery, didn't they?
Yeah.
Originally. And then Judge threw it out because the kid himself, I can't remember his name, I feel really bad for it.
I don't remember. All I remember is his name was Mass Transit. I don't remember what his real name is.
Yeah, I can't remember what his real name is. But, you know, apparently he couldn't keep his story straight. It kept changing. And, you know, once they found out that he lied about his age and everything, Judge were like, you know, well, it's a no-brainer. You lied. You put yourself in the situation. You put yourself in that ring. You did what, you know, you did to get there. But when they asked him, you know, what his dad said backstage, and Paulie, like, he called him the N-word, and he's like, no, I want you to say it. And Paulie just looked at him and went, I'm sorry, you know. And he said what he called him, and when he said that the guy who was in charge of the jury was an African-American guy, we're like, yeah, how's that going to go down well? That's really. All women were like,
yeah. And the one thing that made me laugh about that, New Jack said that he laughed in the courtroom because.
Yeah, because the guy in charge of the jury, I can't remember what they call him now, but yeah, he was African American, and there were a lot of like older women that were just absolutely disgusted at what he said. But it made me laugh when that female interviewer. I don't know if it was on that documentary. It's like I said, the 3 I've watched have just merged into one.
Okay.
I try to remember as much New Jack stuff as I can. And it showed a clip of him when he come out of court and he's walking, and the female reporter come up to him. She said, so how does it feel to be innocent? What are you going to do now? And he just goes, bitch, I'm off to Disneyland, and just walks off. I'm like, do you know what? That'd probably be my same sort of thing. Disneyland.
Oh God! You wonder why we love New Jack. His character is like, I love the guy.
But they showed him walking into a car, and she's like, "What are you going to do?" He's like, "I'm going in a car." you know this, but and then when they tried to privately sue him as well.
But unfortunately, you froze, brother. Well, unfortunately, he kind of froze, so gonna be a while till he probably comes back. I'm good. Stop the camera for now because he kind of froze.
But
Oh, you froze, brother.
oh, sorry.
Okay. Can you repeat that what you said because you froze?
On my screen, you froze.
Really?
So yeah.
Yeah, on my screen you froze.
Yeah. Nice. Oh well, maybe this dodgy interweb thing. Yeah, when you walk into court and she just said, "Oh, where you going? What are you going to do?" He's like, "I'm going to go in court." But when they tried suing him privately as well, that got thrown out, didn't it? So it was like, you'd think after the first time they'd realise they've got no case.
Yeah.
Absolute case at all, but
like, why would you try and sue him again? Like, what did he do for the second time? That
exactly. They tried for a different couple of things. Did the like?
It was at that point. It was at that point, they're just trying to get money out of this.
Yeah, it's desperation in it.
I think that's why when I told you that Mr. Bones comment on the video, I think that's what he means, that you got what you deserve.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he lied and he paid for it, and then they tried to get some money out of it, even though their son was in the wrong, and it blew up in the face. So yeah, that was a really good example of karma.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, yeah, I know he's dead and all that kind of stuff. He didn't even get to be the age that he lied about.
No, I don't think he did he?
No, I think he was like...
he made it to 21, did he?
No, not at all. I think he was like just 20 when he passed away. Was
it depression or something that got him and he overdosed, or was it a natural medical condition? I can't remember now.
I don't remember. I would have to look it up, but I don't remember. I know it wasn't depression or anything else like that. It had something to do with his weight, I think.
Yeah. It were result of a faulty gastric bypass.
Yeah.
That caused problems for him, didn't it? And he passed from that, which that is a shame. You got to feel for him on that. But I mean, he pissed off the wrong dude royally. Yeah,
literally. I mean, like, you never get. You heard the old saying, "Don't make the Hulk angry."
Yeah.
Well, don't do that with New Jack.
Yeah, don't tell New Jack what
you do. Literally.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean that were a big mess, but he come out of it other side and he did all right.
Yeah.
See, because I mostly remember him as a singles wrestler. I don't remember much of Mustafa. He kind of vanished during the run in ECW. I don't know what happened to him.
I don't know either, actually, because like you said, like I've only known when I first saw New Jack, he was a singles guy. When I saw him for the first time,
they came in because it showed you making the debut together, didn't it? In '95, they walked round, and it were him and Mustafa. And I know they were together for a bit, and then Mustafa just vanished. I don't know whether he got sacked, whether he left, whether he got arrested, or what. But I honestly don't know, and I probably should have looked it up before doing this.
Should have done that too, actually, because funny thing is, I actually saw Mustafa wrestle once, and it was back like in 2005 or 6, or I don't remember. I remember him coming to Portland for Portland Wrestling, and I didn't know who he was, but I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
And then years later, like when I got used to the whole internet thing, like searching like history and wrestling, I was like, oh, Mustafa New Jack. Oh, that's cool. That makes sense for some odd reason, but
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. And what's he like? I mean, is he a big dude? He always looked big on telly.
Huge.
Yeah. He always looked massive on telly.
Yeah, he was huge. Well, coming from a guy who saw him when I was still in middle school, just getting ready to enter high school, so yeah. I mean,
he will have been a giant, won't he? But I mean, he always looks quite big on the, the footage you see of him. So I mean, I just assumed.
Yeah.
He looked scary as well. I seen when they were in Smoky Mountain, and we just stood there with his eyes bulging. We're like, dude.
Yeah, and the one thing I like they mentioned about him on the documentary too, and knowing like he looked scary on television, he was kind of scary in real life too.
Yeah, and it's like Jim Cornette said, they worked well together because both of them were intimidating. Both of them, when you looked at them, it were like they were serious. New Jack could talk, and then it's like when Sandman said, and you'd see Mustafa just stood there doing all these weird things, and he's like, that just weren't him doing it for camera. That's how he spent his day, just there with New Jack, just doing randomly weird shit and smoking pencil shavings.
Yeah, when you hear that, you're just like, okay, if I was ever a wrestler, I don't want to go near them and wrestle them. I'd be too scared to do it.
Yeah, I mean, when he showed him, I was like, are they legit pencil shavings, or is that something that's been put into a pencil to make it into shavings? Because I can't imagine pencil shavings being really nice to smoke. I mean, I've never smoked, so
I don't either.
I just looked at it and I thought, that's weird, but, whatever.
Seriously. But, yeah, now, like, the whole documentary goes through, like, a little bit of New Jack, and then we get to the one he had where he cracked his skull open.
Yeah, with Vic Grimes.
Yeah, Vic Grimes.
Yeah, that were... I was speaking to my friend Lee, actually, earlier, and I was telling him that I just finished watching it when he rang me. And I told him I just finished it, and he says, what's it like? I went, it's really good. And he says, what does it tell you about, Major? And so I'm like, yeah. So I told him, like, bits and bats without going into too much detail. And he was like, I've got to watch that. But I told him about that. And I said, you remember we watched the DVD? We watched the DVD with it on. And he's like, yeah, I remember it. And I was telling him how when they got to the top and they were all set to do it, Vic Grimes bottled it, and New Jack was like, no, you fucking do it. You said you were going to do it, you're going to fucking do it if I have to pull you off. And he did. It's like he said, then he went on 3, 1, 2, 3, and he just pulled him off. And then, obviously, when they landed, I think with Vic Grimes' back or something, when it landed on New Jack's head,
yeah,
skull, and to this day, he's got no sight in his right eye. So when I was telling my friend Lee that, he was like, holy shit. He said, you wouldn't even think it to look at him, would you? I'm like, well, no. But then obviously there was that incident, and he was out for a year and stuff, and then when he came back and that. But then there were his revenge against Vic Grimes when they were in XPW.
In the Scalford match.
Yeah, in the scaffold match, and the scaffolding were even higher on that one. And I've actually got that XPW event. I don't have it on DVD.
Really?
Yeah, I've got it, and it's funny because I think I mentioned to you I've got this pack of XPW pay-per-views, and I was going to watch them and what have you. And I remember watching it, when they come out. I knew about the ECW event, the past that it had to pull him off there, and he was still really mad with him. But I didn't know that it were Vic Grimes had hurt him so badly, and that's why he were really annoyed at him. And then when I saw what happened, I was like, holy shit, he's just tried to kill him on pay-per-view. Because he even admitted, didn't he? I just wanted to throw him so he hit the floor, and I didn't throw him hard enough. But when you watch how he lands in that XPW, and to only come out of it with a shattered ankle or whatever it was.
Yeah, that's the only
he definitely had an angel guiding him through last
sure.
seconds. Because it showed you his landing, and I remember, like I said, when I watched the event, I watched it and I was like, no, and I watched it in sort of like slow motion, just like nudging play button so it went slow. And when I saw he hit the ropes and his body, I was like, oh my god! And my first thought was, that's it, he's done. It's just going to end here. It's just going to go to a black screen and just come up with something like, unfortunately, due to tragic circumstances. And then they were like, oh no, he's back not long later. And I'm like, the fuck do you get up from that?
Yeah, seriously, right?
How do you get up from that? And then carry on wrestling and not have any fear. But, it's like New Jack said to him, I got your back. Now we're even. And it was like, yeah, that's seriously... the sort of person you don't want to be pissing off.
I kind of laughed when he got a taser and he tased him up there.
Yeah.
And I kind of laughed. I know this sounds bad, but I did laugh at this part. When he said when Big Grimes said, I can't feel my legs, and New Jack's like, you're not going to need them. Bye! Yeah. And just I'm not going to lie, I kind of laughed. Is that bad? Is that bad?
No, because I must admit, watching like the build up to that and what went before it, when he said, I can't feel my legs, it's like, sorry, like, you're not going to need them. And then he just launched him. It was like, yeah. And it's like they were saying, he even admitted, oh no, I tried to throw him clear at ring so he'd hit the floor. And I mean, that was filmed in some sort of like arena, like a baseball arena or some, where they do monster truck racing, some shit like that. So it was just a solid floor all the way around. There were no mats or all like that. It was just a ring. They had an entranceway, and then they had crowding bleachers around edges.
Yeah.
Nobody on grass. There were no fans on grass. And then there were just solid floor, like solid earth all around. So I think if you had launched him out of the ring, it would have killed him.
Yeah.
And that would have been a documentary behind bars then.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, like, that would probably, if he did kill him, that would probably have been the end for XPW. Like,
I don't know much about the company because, you know, it's not on them that New Jack kind of premeditated it, you know. But it's like, you know, they said that he did say to Sandman that he were going to launch him clear a ring. You know, so I'm tase him and then I'm going to fucking launch him. And Sandman like, oh, yeah, right, well, you know, whatever. He says, and then when he did it, it was like, shit.
Well, like what you said, like New Jack went down there and told him, like, okay, now we're even.
Yeah. Yeah, and he was like laid there and he went over and it was like, yeah, now we're even because I say so. And it was like, yeah, it's like Jim Cornette said, you're putting the trust into somebody else when you get into the ring, and especially when you're doing shit like that. And for him to openly be telling people, oh, I'm going to fucking kill him, I'm going to throw him clear of that ring. Mm-hmm. You know, if it had happened like that and something had happened to Vic Ramsey, God forbid, New Jack would have been done for murder.
Yeah, seriously. But like you said, Vic probably had an angel on his shoulder, probably.
Oh, yeah, his guardian angel will probably sat like that with popcorn going, I wonder what's going to happen. Oh, shit. Himself. And he just got him as he got, you know, as he bounced off Robert, like, oh, just land you there, but we'll smash your ankle up a bit. But, you know, rest of you.
Have a broken ankle, that's it.
Yeah, you can have a wrecked ankle, but, you know, as for what should have happened to you, I got there just in time.
Yeah, seriously.
But
and the thing is, like, he got to wrestle still. I think he still wrestles.
Yeah, he wrestled a few matches in XPW after that. And
then he was in Wrestling Society X.
Yeah, he was in Wrestling Society X. I don't know if he's still wrestling now, but I would imagine he toured indies like the rest of them did.
I think if I was a wrestler and like that, I think I would have just retired for a little bit and then, like, by retired, I mean, like, just take, like, maybe, like, a few years off from wrestling and then go back.
Few decades.
Yeah, a few decades, pretty much.
Yeah.
Don't do what Shawn Michaels did, though.
And then do a Terry Funk go back. It's, you know.
Oh, jeez, yeah, that too. But
15 retirement matches.
And he still wrestles. Terry
That
Funk
was 1 year, wasn't it? 15 retirement matches in 1 year.
Yeah, I know, right? But then we get to another incident. The third one that New Jack did was where he literally beat the dog out of a 70-year-old man.
A 72-year-old, yeah, Gypsy Joe or something.
Gypsy Jones, I think it was.
Yeah, something like that, wasn't it? Who was supposedly like a tough bastard from back in the day, and when he went into the locker room and said, all right, you know, this is how it's going to go, kid. And he's like, you talking to me? Yeah. I'll see you in the ring. And the more the crowd shouted the N-word at him, he was like, the more he beat him up. You see, that's when you seriously got to think, right, the guy is a bit of a liability.
Yeah. And
He's
also
entertaining, but...
Yeah, and also not telling them what the spots are or selling for him.
Yeah, I mean, that was, according to Cornette, that what he's saying, wasn't it? That way, his character, it just didn't sell anybody else's offence. So when they started literally just beating the shit out of each other at ringside, and then New Jack just went to town on him. But I mean, it did seem, when they mentioned that, it did seem like a bit like he regretted that somewhat.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like at the time, he probably thought, "No, I'm going to show this old bastard who's, you know, what's what and who's who, and put him in his place." But when he sort of had time to reflect on it, we're like, "Yeah, I beat up a 72-year-old man." You know, the more the crowd got me, the more annoyed I got, and the more I took it out on him. But yeah, I mean, it's like it was an entertaining documentary with all these bits on the stuff he's done and that. It was just absolutely crazy. But
if Gypsy Jones would just told Jack, like, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to no sell for you for a little bit, and then you go all hardcore, and then I'll sell.
Yeah, yeah. If they just sat down and said, right, how do you want to work it? Because this is what I've done it past. So how do we mix this in so that we're both happy and we have a good match, rather than just going in and saying, "Oh, this is how it's going to be."
Yeah, it's just been like this. Like, okay, we're gonna wrestle. I'm gonna be no selling. You're gonna get annoyed, and that's when you go, oh, hardcore on me, and then I'm gonna sell.
Yeah, yeah, something like that would have been cool. But it's like that's when I was like, I mean, especially after the second Big Grimes when he tased him and then tried to kill him, and then he beat up. It was essentially a pensioner. It's
think like they would try to know, like, don't do what happened with Mass Transit or Big Grimes. Don't do that. You see what Jack could do.
Yeah, you've heard the stories, dude. And then there was that other guy in it's Thunder Wrestling or something. Thunder
Wrestling Federation, I think it was called. Johnny Red, I think it was called. I think that's what the guy's name was. I don't remember.
Yeah, something like that. And he did same, didn't he? Just laid into New Jack from the start, and
like he didn't.
The show match, didn't they? They had D'Lo Brown watching it on a laptop, leaning on a ring apron, and then they had Jim Cornette watching it on his massive TV in his little wrestling room.
He's laughing about it too.
Yeah, because he's like, right, he's gone straight at New Jack, so that's pissed him off.
And you see him like he's New Jack trying to talk to this guy.
Yeah, and he's like, so he's trying to talk to him, and D'Lo Brown's saying pretty much the same, and then D'Lo's like, he's going into his pocket. What the? Is that an engine gun? It's like, he's got a fucking knife. He's going to stab him. It's like when he got the police coming in the backstage and with guns out and everything because somebody had reported a black guy stabbing a white guy. Police had turned up and everything, and it were like, I mean, how do you get you out of that? There's only so much they'll take us. It's a wrestling match, officer. Yeah, but you've stabbed him.
And the thing is that this guy, after just being stabbed, he was trying to make this into a storyline.
Yeah, I mean, New Jack obviously got banged up for it, didn't he? And then they took him, and it were like he were in prison, and then it were like, right, well, if you want, we can turn it into a storyline. And we'll turn it into a storyline as long as you get me out. And so he got him out, and then he was just like, I fucking left Florida. Just like, I'm going back there now.
Yeah, like the one thing is, like, when I heard him say that he wanted to make this into a storyline, is like, was he gonna try to stab him back, or was he actually just trying to get famous out of this?
So they were going to try and work it on as a storyline, but I think New Jack essentially just played him and said, "Oh no, you can come after me for revenge in this. You just got to tell him that." It were all planned and everything to get me out, and then, like I say, as soon as they got him out, it were like, nah, fuck this, I'm off.
Yeah, you're like, bye.
Just left.
And then he mentioned that his mom saw it on the news and, like, saying, like, oh, why you should get help and all. Then out of nowhere, New Jack was just arguing with his mom.
Yeah. Yeah, she's like, why did you do that? And it's like, well, it just happened.
I just like how it just like said, like, huh? Just happened.
Yeah. So he came at me, so I just fucking stabbed him.
Yeah. Did you ever? He mentioned that I got an action figure in Toys R Us. Did you ever find or buy any of the old original ECW action figures? Because I could never find them.
I don't remember us having them over here. We got the WWF ones.
Yeah, I did too.
WCW ones, but I don't remember ever seeing ECW ones for sale in Toys R Us or anything. Although years ago on eBay, I did manage to get hold of an original ECW Raven action figure.
Yeah,
but I've lost it. I don't know where it's gone.
I actually looked up on eBay after the documentary. Is like, let me see how much these ECW action figures are, and I found one of the New Jacks still in the package. It's like maybe like $50, or maybe like maybe $50. I'm not sure here. And then
it's that Ryder money in it.
Yeah. And there was one where this guy had all of them in the package, and it was like maybe like $150 or $200.
That's not bad for all of them.
I know, but when I saw that, I was like, what? I'm just gonna buy them probably separate.
Yeah. bulk bought it and then just sold on the ones you didn't want because you'd have still made a bit of money back.
Yeah, but the one thing I said is like, I am not pulling a Zack Ryder, so no.
Yeah.
But the one thing is I liked how they ended is they asked New Jack, if they made a movie about you, how do you think they were going to, how would you want your movie to end? And I just love this.
In a wheelchair snorting cocaine.
And flipping off the camera, just
Yeah.
I love that. When he said that, I just started laughing even louder. It's just like New Jack. I was like, again, this is why I love this guy. I mean, like, I love New Jack, and now I want to like. But the one thing when I heard him say that if they made a movie about New Jack, who would play him in a movie?
Oh my God.
And also, like, how would they start the movie, or like would they talk about everything what they did in the documentary, or like
I don't know. I'd go see it just for that end scene where he's sat in a wheelchair snorting cocaine.
Yeah,
because he played himself there.
Yeah, I want there to be a New Jack movie now. I would love to see one.
Yeah, there definitely needs to be one. Well, that's how he got his name in it from the film New Jack City.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's one thing. I did not know that was a movie. I did not.
Great movie. You never seen it?
No, never did.
Oh, it's a great film.
I have to look it up. I would have to look it up.
Film. Wesley Snipes.
Oh yeah, I know Wesley very well. It just I did not know about that movie.
Yeah, I saw it years ago.
I have to look it up and watch it now.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, Richard, that was and also to every maniac out there, that was our review of the New Jack documentary. There was a lot of things that we did not talk about because, like, for us, we don't want to mention everything about the documentary. We want you guys to go experience it for yourself.
Yeah, we didn't become the tangent masters this time.
Yeah. Well, we kind of did because
Yeah.
But the one thing I want to know from you is, like, before we ended it, how did you first see New Jack? Like, what was your first experience with New Jack?
ECW. I think it were when I got a couple of ECW pay-per-view DVDs one day. I were in Huddersfield with my friends and my brother shopping, and we were on the indoor market. And I just went to this DVD stall and I was looking around, and I were in a massive wrestling thing. My friend's mum used to tape WWF and WCW for me. Mm-hmm. I'd go up to her house on Saturday and collect the videos. And I saw these DVDs and I was like, for what they are, I'll give them a shot. So I bought 2 or 3 of them, and I watched them that afternoon. And I went up and I'm like, "There's an extra tape." She's like, "What?" I says, "Can you see if you can find this ECW for me?" She went, "Oh yeah, it's on such and such on a Tuesday night." She said, "We'll take that for you as well." So they started taping that for me. So I used to go on a Saturday morning, collect the tapes, and I just spent all day Saturday if I weren't doing it, watching wrestling. So yeah, that's my first. And then obviously over the years I've sort of built up a bit of a DVD collection.
Yeah, I first saw New Jack when Hollywood Video was around. Remember Hollywood Video?
Hollywood Video, that'd be
Blockbuster.
Yeah, Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blockbuster and Hollywood Video, both renting stores. No kids are going to get that to this day because no one's going to understand it. But I remember renting like a lot of wrestling VHS tapes and DVDs. And one time I saw, I think it was a pay-per-view. I don't remember, but I just remember seeing New Jack. And back then he scared me, but I always thought he was cool. And I loved him. And then I got to see the Beyond the Mat documentary.
Yeah.
And that's when I got to see who he is a little bit more. I was like, this guy's cool. I love him. Didn't know he was that, I didn't know he was a former bounty hunter. Like, that's even scarier.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like Kurt Cornett's. I think you heard that, and then you heard that he got murders and stuff that he wanted for, but you never knew what to take as truth and what to just take as, bullshit, for lack of a better term. But I mean, I said ECW what first time I ever saw him, and he's on quite a few DVDs I've got now, ECW ones. Like I say, and the MXPW ones as well.
I mean, it's just that I think New Jack's no longer wrestling; he's retired now.
Is he retired now?
Yeah. Which I'm like, in the same time, I wish he this is the fanboy inside me. I'm going to fully admit that I get why he retired, but at the same time, I always wanted to see him wrestle. And I would love to.
But can you imagine if they did another ECW reunion now? The state of the people that would be in it.
Yeah, they did that with TNA. It was called Hardcore Justice. You remember that?
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, if they did one like, say, this year, back end of year, 2020, you'd have like Sandman looking like he did there. You'd have like Balls Mahoney with like one tooth in his mouth.
All wearing face masks.
Yeah.
Hazmat suits.
Well, unfortunately, Balls Mahoney and God rest his soul. I mean, that's the part that's a shame that he's gone. And Axelrod, God rest his soul, he's too. So it wouldn't be an ECW reunion without those two. So
no, you wouldn't be able to do it. It'd be like having one without Sandman and Tommy Dreamer.
Yeah. Like, if they ever did do like one, instead of just wrestling, just like make an ECW reunion get together where fans could go meet them and just like
Q&A.
Yeah, and like have the ECW entrance stage, with the bricks and all that kind of stuff. Like have like, I mean, I think that would be like an awesome thing to go to. Just get to go
like your photo taken, stood on ramp and stuff.
Yeah,
like WrestleMania access and stuff like that.
Yeah, like have an ECW access or whatever it's called. Like have that. I think that would be great. I mean, get to meet all the ECW wrestlers. Mr. Bones told me this, and he would do it if there was one. He would buy the ECW world title, but he would dress up as Vince McMahon. He would just do it just to make all the ECW diehard fans just upset. He said he would do it.
That does not surprise me.
And he even posted it on Twitter, and I think Vince McMahon liked it, saying that if I ever bought the ECW world title, I am not getting any of the ECW originals to sign it. I'm just going to give Vince McMahon to sign it.
That's Bones all over that, isn't it?
When I heard him say that, I was like, "You're just trying to die, huh?" He's like,
"Hey." Yeah,
and his reaction is like, "Hey."
Yeah.
Oh, another thing before we go, I actually did hear a rumor. I don't know if it was true or not. This is another thing I would love to ask New Jack about. They mentioned that I don't think WWE ever tried to contact New Jack because they were too afraid what he might do.
Yeah.
But do you remember the rivalry between Carlito and John Cena, where John Cena got stabbed in a club?
Oh yeah, and they put it into storyline, didn't they? That Cena had been stabbed in a club. Yeah, yeah.
I heard, and I don't know if this is true. I would love to ask New Jack about this. I heard the guy who stabbed John Cena in a club was supposed to be New Jack.
No, I thought it was that guy who started knocking around with Carlito afterwards. He was supposed to be the one money, that tall guy.
Yeah.
That Cena just, absolutely walked all over at a pay-per-view or something. Just,
I don't remember what his name was. I remember he was an Wrestling Society X, but I just don't remember what his name was.
Yeah, that's how big of an impact he made.
Yeah. But I heard it was supposed to be New Jack that was supposed to be the guy.
I don't remember. I only remember the storyline thing about it being that guy who were mates with Carlito, the big dude.
Yeah. How do you think that would turn out? Like, this was pretty much right after when New Jack stabbed the other dude. Like, how do you think that would have...
I don't know. I mean, I can't see WWE ever have signed a New Jack. It was just too much for him. I
think it was supposed to be just a one-time thing, like what happened with the other guy. I think it was just supposed to happen once, and after that, just move on. But even for me, I can't see New Jack in the WWE. It would be cool, but at the same time, it's like New Jack's too much of an extreme wrestler. He would never he would never go.
Yeah. No, he'd never let them tell him what to do and say, this is how you're going to do it. And, no, it never happened.
New Jack would just probably get in Vince's face, and Vince probably just would have pissed his pants again.
Yeah, probably, but for real, yeah.
Because Vince likes to control people, and New Jack is one guy he can't control.
Oh yeah, no, there's no way you don't tell him what to do. I mean, you just gotta look at them 3 people we talked about.
And also, like, I could just see Triple H trying to be all tough and mighty, and just like New Jack get into his face, like, you think I'm afraid of you because you're the boss's son-in-law?
Yeah.
You trust me, I will stab you. Pretty much, it would probably be like that.
Yeah, I probably just won't tell him and just jump him in car park.
Oh yeah, probably. But I think that's another reason why, like, New Jack would never work in WWE. I'm surprised that he was with TNA for a little bit.
Yeah, they took a massive risk.
Yeah, but he did well. What I've seen is like he did okay for himself.
Yeah, I mean, with that, it'll have been limited stuff on it that have kept him to the point where they could sort of keep a leash on him to an extent. You know, they wouldn't let him go too hardcore because it's like, oh, you know, our fans don't like this and blah 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 blah. And so just, you know, you're allowed to do this, this, and this. This is what we can do.
Like,
you know, so all you can do is this. It'd be a case of, oh no, we're allowed to do this, this, and this.
Like when I told you about New Jack before we even recorded, I told Richard this. Like, the one thing that shocked me is the chemistry that he had with Shark Boy.
I would love to see that.
If I could find the clip, I'll send it to you because they are really hilarious together. It's like I said, it was kind of like I know this is gonna be dumb for some people, but it was like the Rock and Sock Connection, but with a gangster and a luchador teaming up.
Yeah,
and
I always found New Jack and Spike Dudley as a good tag team. I always thought it was funny.
Spike Dudley dressed up as a gangster.
Yeah, and then around his mouth.
The whitest guy dressing up as a gangster, like Spike is nothing, but nothing like a gangster. But all the bumps he did, yeah, I know. But all the bumps he took, I say that's pretty gangster.
Yeah, definitely.
But
do
you think New Jack would ever done well if they even did this back then? Do you think he would have done well as an ECW World Champion?
I don't think they would have ever put him in that position. I mean, he held tag title, didn't he? But that were about it. Mm-hmm. But I think he was just too out there to be like your company's representative or, you know, to be a champion, a major champion. I think they basically just used him for balcony dives, didn't they, really, for novelty stuff. And
also, New Jack went a lot other companies too, so it just wasn't ECW. He would go to this company, go to that company, go to that company. If
he's right, we're going to get a payday, which when you've got a family, I suppose, or you know, you got things you need to pay for.
I would love to. I hope if New Jack, if you're watching this, if you are, that's awesome. I would love to have you on the show, just talking to me and Richard, because I think there are some questions we would love to ask him.
Yeah,
there's a lot
so we'd be safe.
Yeah, like there would be a lot of questions I would love to ask you, and like it's just I would love to have New Jack as a guest. And I always said this: he would be one of the wrestlers I would love to talk to, but at the same time, I'd be scared to talk to.
Yeah, well, that's what made me laugh in the documentary when that guy who he wrestled for in Florida, because he stayed with him, and he said when you get to know him, he's really comical and he loves cooking. I was like, that's 2 things I never thought I'd ever said about New Jack. Loves cooking and he's funny. But the funny bit, I could understand that, because his mannerisms at ring when he was doing stuff, like when he used to pretend to play guitar before he hit somebody with it. Yeah, that was right comedic.
That's what I like about New Jack, is I remember seeing a lot of clips of him doing that. And especially when he did that on Wrestling Society X, which I thought was really funny.
Yeah. But yeah, he always used to, do his little pretend to play. He even did that in XPW as well. That was just one of his things that he did. But yeah, when the guy started, he loved cooking, I was like, what?
Yeah, that's one thing of the one I heard. He's like, he loves to cook? Wow. That's pretty cool.
Spaghetti, apparently.
I love spaghetti, I can tell you that.
Yeah, I mean, even if you didn't enjoy it, would you tell him?
Oh, yeah, I would love to talk to him about, like, the things he'll like to cook and all that kind of stuff, because, like, got my curiosity.
Yeah, but I mean, even if he made you some spaghetti and you didn't like it, would you actually tell him?
No.
This is the best spaghetti I've ever had, is this?
I think he would know I'd be lying. But here's the thing: I love spaghetti. So one thing is that I'm probably gonna love it no matter what because I'm a big spaghetti guy. I never liked eating spaghetti at restaurants, but I tried it like a couple of years ago when I went out to dinner with my family, and I tried spaghetti in this Italian restaurant. I was like, "This is delicious! Holy crap! I never liked. I'm getting this from now on." So
Yeah.
I know I love spaghetti. That's one thing I do know. I love spaghetti to death, dude. I love it. So I would definitely try it for sure if I had the chance. What about you?
I don't know. I'm not sure really. I don't mind spaghetti. But yeah, I mean, I probably eat pretty much whatever he gave me.
And also, one thing I like New Jack is that he's very intimidating.
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't eat salads, as you can tell. But if he put a salad in front of me, I probably would have quite a bit of it. Just out of the fact that I'd be scared of getting stabbed.
Yeah, I know.
You're
Right?
not scared of me stabbing you.
That's the thing is like about New Jack. That's why I said like I would love to talk to him, but at the same time I'd be too scared to talk to him because like I don't want him to stab me for asking the wrong question. Yeah, to say something wrong. I'm like that's one thing, but at the same time I would be having a hard time trying not to fanboy because I love to talk to some of the wrestlers who I grew up watching, but just talking to them, I'll be having a hard time trying not to fanboy, but at the same time I'd be kind of scared.
Yeah, I mean, I've met Mick Foley, and it was that briefly sort of photo, get him to sign something, and then it went on to the next person. But I mean, it was an evening with Mick Foley, so he's the only wrestler I've really met. And he was pretty cool. But a guy that I'm friends with in one of the UK wrestling groups, he was there that night, and he said he thought he came off as a bit of a prick, and I thought he was all right.
It's mankind, he can be.
You know, anyway, when we met him, you know, he did the one-on-one. He seemed okay to me. You know, he was saying, you know, if people are going to have flash photography, they'll have to look away because obviously of all the concussions and stuff.
Yeah.
He can't take the flashlights, but some bright spark forgot to put the flash on his phone when he gave it to the person to take the photo. So I had to have it sort of edited so it were a bit brighter, so you could actually see him properly.
Yeah.
But, I got him to sign my Mick Foley Hits and Misses DVD and the ticket for the event. So I was walking through Leeds that night, the amount of rappers and people who had gone out and bought the what was the last Mick Foley one, you know, For All Mankind.
Yeah.
The amount of people who were walking around with fresh copies of that, and you could see when he was signing it, like, yeah, you've just bought this today, haven't you? You know, and then I would rock up with my copy of Greatest Hits and Misses, and you could see it in his face. It was like, thank God, something old. You know?
Yeah, I have his Have a Nice Day book. I've had that for years.
Yeah, I've got all of them apart from Countdown to Lockdown. That's the only one I don't have.
The one wrestler who I got to meet, a few of them actually, was Dr. Luther, which was the recent one. I got to meet Billy Jack Haynes, which was really awesome. And you saw the episode where I interviewed him, right, the first time.
Adam Pearce.
Yeah, Adam.
Yeah.
I love Adam to death. Like,
yeah, he was so cool on that.
Such a hilarious guy who plays an awesome villain. Like, that's one thing I love about Adam. I miss seeing him wrestle. I know he probably doesn't miss it, but I sure miss him.
So he's on a lot of my old Ring of Honor DVD events, and it's just weird seeing him there.
I got to meet Kevin Sullivan once.
I bet that was quite interesting.
It was, but I didn't get to talk to him that much. I didn't get to talk to him because he was in such a hurry. Because he came to Portland, he was doing the whole Dungeons of Doom thing in BCW, and I was trying so hard to get him as a guest, but he had to catch his flight because he was with Ring of Honor for a little bit.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Is that when he was doing the storyline with Steve Corino?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and he had Steve Corino's son Colby with him.
Yeah, that's the one. So yeah, so I didn't really get to talk to him that much, but what I've been told from other people, he's a great guy.
Yeah, I bet he's pretty approachable.
Mm-hmm. So I really wanted to talk to him. And one thing I was not going to do if I did get to have him as a guest, I know he's probably been asked this so many times with the whole Benoit thing. That was the one thing I was never going to ask him about because I just want to talk to him about wrestling.
Yeah, that would have just been him just walking away and.
Yeah, that's why I would never want to do. But Richard, thank you for being on the show again. It was great reviewing Dark Side of the Ring once again with you. Did you enjoy the documentary?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I'd say, like we said, it were after the Benoit one. It were nice to go off in a different direction, and have something different. We're going to wait a whole week now before we do this again.
Yeah, and but the waiting will be worth it. I can tell you that.
Yeah, unless we could think of something in between. But
I got an idea of what we could review.
Okay, well, we'll talk about that one. Off. Who's the next one in Dark Side of the Ring? Do you know? Is it Owen yet?
Owen is going to be last, I think.
Oh, right. I think I asked that last video actually. So, but yeah, we'll have to see who's next and.
If I had to take a guess, it's probably the one thing I'm kind of shocked they're going to mention is the brawl for all. Why would you want to bring that up?
Yeah, but that ruined a lot of guys' careers, didn't it? Really?
Yeah.
I mean, you got Brad Armstrong absolutely flew through brawl for all, and then they put him up against Butterbean at WrestleMania, and he got his head weaved into the canvas in 3 seconds.
You think they're going to add Butterbean into this story, you think?
I think, yeah, when they mention Brawl for All, they might mention it because, the winner of that went on to face him, didn't it? So,
who I am looking forward to in that documentary again?
Well,
same one they did with the Montreal Screwjob. I'm looking forward to hearing Vince Russo and Jim Cornette talk about it.
Oh, yeah, Cornette. You see, yeah. I'm looking forward to the Dino Bravo one because that's in this season, isn't it? So, what we were saying the other night, that'll be a quite interesting one.
Yeah, and what I found out, Dino Bravo's daughter is going to be in it. And one thing I agree with the podcaster, his name is Solid Monster. Go subscribe to him and go watch his podcast. He's great. He mentioned that he would love to see Rick Martel in there because Dino and Rick Martel were very close.
Yeah.
And the only person I think who knew about Dino Bravo's past was Martel, and I think that would be great to have Martel in the documentary. So I think it would be great if that is true. I hope.
Yeah, I'd be interested. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see who's next.
Yep, we gotta wait. But that doesn't mean we're gonna be stop reviewing, waiting for that one to come out. We, like you said, we're gonna talk more about what we're gonna review next. We're not gonna tell you because we want to keep you waiting.
Yeah,
Because we got ideas we want to review.
Yeah, we've talked a few things.
Yeah. But again, thank you, Richard, for being a part of this review once again. I'm having a blast doing these reviews with you. I'm having a blast just talking about these documentaries. And it's really fun. I'm really glad you're doing this. I really am.
Yeah, and we have upheld our Tangent Masters thing again.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
we definitely need T-shirts now. Tangent Masters.
I like that. That's really good. That's a good idea. I love that idea. But Maniacs, thank you guys for watching. If you want to go find Richard on Twitter, what's your Twitter account?
That's a good question.
I think it's at Pete Rick.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Find me Twitter. I just went into Messenger for some reason. And Twitter won't load. That's brilliant. Yeah, but I think it's at Pete Rick or something, isn't it? Because you've followed me and what have you. And also, he has a YouTube channel. He has 2 of them. And what are those YouTube channels called, brother? There's Rick Pete, which is mine, where it's just random stuff. And then there's the oWo UK, which is similarly random stuff. Yeah, but I think that my plan is this year is to try and put oWo UK as more wrestling related stuff, and that my channel is like other stuff, whatever, right? Movies, music, random shenanigans, and then have oWo UK as the wrestling related stuff. I like that. That's a good idea, actually. Because that was the original idea, but it all just kind of morphed into one. So I need to. It happens. Yeah, spread them and rephrase that. Set them on different tracks.
Yeah, and also he has a merchandise store, so go support him and buy one of Rick Pete's merch. It's in the link down below. Go support him. And also, New Jack's got a Twitter. Go follow him. He's got a Facebook page. Go like the page. He has a book out. I go buy it. I still need to go buy it.
Yeah, I definitely need a copy of that.
Yeah, it's just right now it's kind of tough right now. So
yeah, right, online you're all right, aren't you? Really, I suppose.
Yeah, but yeah, he's got a book out. Go buy his book, support him, and I'm still working on merchandise myself. I mean, I made my own version of a B Team T-shirt, so but
awesome.
oWo logo. So I did that just for fun. But thank you guys for watching. We do appreciate it for you guys taking the time and watching our review and giving our honest opinion and our thoughts. We really do appreciate it. We love you maniacs so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Oregon Wrestling Observer. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and go like the Oregon Wrestling Observer Facebook page. We love you guys so much. Thank you guys for watching, and have a good night.
Into the mind of a maniac, doomed to be a killer since I came out the nutsack. I'm in a murderous mind state with a heart full of terror. I see the devil in the mirror. Buck, lights out. Cause when I grab my sword off, niggas get hauled off. Barrel 1, touch your motherfucking flesh. Barrel 2, touch your fucking heart at your chest. You see, I'm quick to let the hammer go click on my tech 9. So if you try to wreck mine, foolish your bedtime. Feel the blast from the chocolate bomber. Infrared aimed at your head like your name was Sarah Connor. Decapitation, I ain't hesitating to put you in a funeral home with a bullet in your dome. I'm hot like lava. You got a problem? I got a problem solver, and his name is Revolver. It's like a deadly game of freeze tag. I touch you with the phony